Hi, I'm Lee Iridium. Hope everyone's all right today, and it's album review time. We've got Junkyard Drive Electric Love. I've just finished listening to this album and it's fucking amazing. You guys are gonna love this. This is pure, energetic rock and fucking roll, this album. You're gonna love it. They're a Danish band. They brought their debut album, Sin and Tonic, out in 2017. I think this is their second album. Like I said, this is no-nonsense rock and roll, man. This is fucking brilliant. It's made me smile. It's given me energy. It's got a fucking attitude to this album that you're going to love. Almost reminds me, and I'm a new fan, by the way, to Hardcore Superstar. And I love the fucking attitude running through that Abracadabra album that's been brought out this year. And this gives me that same spitting vocals out, fucking energetic rock and roll. It's just great. They remind me of older bands or like classic bands like Skid Row and Tesla, but also 70s. They pull a lot from the 70s, I would say, you know. Some of those great classic bands then as well, that, you know, they've got a lot of influences, but they've got so much to give of their own. They're fucking brilliant. The production on this, it's just immediately punchy as fuck. It's coming at you on the speakers. The drums are so heavy. I love the sound of the snare. Something that's missing in a lot of rock and roll music these days. The snare is just thumping its fucking way through this. The bass is rumbling. The guitar is bang up in that mix. And the vocals, even the production of the vocals sound great. I think where this guy's got his attitude in his vocals, his name is Christian, by the way. I went to their website and I've only got first names, which is good for me because I can't pronounce a fucking thing. He's got a sort of, he spits his vocals out, and I think the production's really important. It captures all that energy that the vocalist has got as well. Just amazing stuff, man. I mean, I think, you know, on their website, I was reading, it says about, it mentioned Guns N' Roses, and I would say that. I mean, you look back at Guns N' Roses in 1987, you know, Appetite for Destruction was just a huge fucking album in my life as well. And what really struck me with that album was the attitude that it had. You know, it was something different. They had that punky attitude, but they were pure rock and roll, pulled from the 70s. You know, that rock and roll that Guns N' Roses played. It wasn't anything new, but it had, you know, it was from the 70s, but it had an attitude about it that was just fucking so infectious. And this is what this band have got. They've got, in fact, Guns N' Roses, this is how you fucking do it now. Just listen to this, you know. I mean, if Guns N' Roses are going to bring some new music out, and by the way, I like their last single. Not, I can't remember that stupid fucking song they brought out, but then they brought out Hard School, was it, or something like that. That was a good track. But if you really want to know how to do it fucking properly, take some fucking lessons off of these guys. Listen to this album. This is what attitude's about. This is what rock and roll and energy are about. These guys fucking kill it on this record. Now, I'm going to run through my favourite tracks on this album. I loved every track, by the way, but I want to pick some highlights out. I don't want to drone on and on. I'll give you some of my favourites, although I love them all. So we start off the album with the great track, Let It Burn. What a fucking start. A rocking riff kicks you and a scream straight away, and before you know it, you're into a stomping rock and roll song. Slightly blues infused, I would say, but it's really fun rock and roll. You get a bit of a reprieve with a little short breakdown before it solo rips out of the speakers, before returning to an outstanding ending to a great driving track. It's just amazing. And talking about the guitars, Ben is the guitarist. I love that name. It's easy to pronounce. He's all over this album, guys. You're going to fucking love it. With Christian alongside him, they're just an amazing fucking partnership. You know, he's spitting out those vocals. Them guitar licks are hitting you fucking from everywhere. You've got a great drummer in Klaus on the drums, and his drums sound amazing. The production is just really giving them a punch as well. And of course, there's got to be one name that I can't pronounce. He's on the bass. He's called Stjus. Probably completely wrong, but a great, I've already mentioned the bass rumbling in this mix, and it does throughout this first song and throughout the album. Just amazing stuff. Then we move on to Electric Love. This is the title track, And the feel from the opening track just carries on with this brilliant medium paced track. You get a slightly sort of sleazy feel here, and you do throughout this. It's got that attitude, that sleaze. I think it's more their attitude than anything. What a groove this track has got as well. Brilliant start to the album with second track in. Then we move on to Mr. Rock and Roll. I love this. It's like a southern sort of beginning to this, kicks it off before you get into this energetic medium to fast paced rocker, and it kicks your fucking ass. This is heavy rock and roll turned up to the max. There's so much energy here. It's just purely infectious, just amazing, brilliant again. Then I want to talk about the track Let Me Love You. There's a brilliant a cappella beginning to this, and then we get loaded into a lot of great heavy riff, and then we get a slightly southern infused track again. This has some 70s influence for sure going through it. I think this just feels like a band that should be huge. You know, it's got an amazing sound to it, this album, this band. They sound amazing, real classic sounding stuff. And that chorus is just perfect. Then I want to talk about the single, The Wonderland of Temptations. Oh, man, I mean, this is an excellent ballad. It's piano led, it's epic, amazing, emotional, heartfelt. This track sort of takes the best classic rock ballads you can think of, all them influences it takes, and all them, but it just gives you that attitude that the band have got, adds it all that into the mix, and the confidence they seem to have to give you one of the best ballads you'll hear. Amazing stuff. What an amazing ballad that builds and builds and builds. A surefire classic, a huge highlight of the album. I'll talk about the next track. This is track 9. This is Mama. Forgive me for the anger in my head. Acoustic guitar starts this off, and then another slightly southern feel again, I would say, and it rocks its way into your ears to stamp what is surely one of the highlight albums of the year. I mean, this just certifies it. I mean, you should know already by the time you get to track 9, but they keep coming and coming, these tracks. They're just amazing. This album sounds massive. And then we end the album, and I want to talk about Free Your Mind. That real 70s rock and roll vibe is really strong on this one. We get the vocals spat out and those riffs just following him. Almost similar to the, I mean, I know they're influenced by Led Zeppelin, but you almost get that in this structure of this song. It's almost like rock and roll, the song Rock and Roll. So the singer's spitting out those lyrics, then the riff kicks in, then it stops, then the singer spits them out again. It's a little bit similar to the structure of that. Don't know if I was going for that or not, but that's what it reminded me of. Then the stomping chorus hits you headlong in the fucking face again. An excellent rocker to finish this amazing rock and roll album. Man, this is an amazing album, guys, and I know it's had a lot of hype as well. A lot of people reviewed this, said it's brilliant, and they're fucking totally right. Totally recommended this, guys. I love this. Junkyard Drive, Electric Love. It's out everywhere now. Totally recommended, guys. Fucking get this one. I'll see you soon.